Hey everyone, I'm Justin with AmericanMuscle.com, and today we're taking a closer look at the Kustom Interiors premium artificial leather front and rear seat cover kit, fitting all 2015 and newer Challengers equipped with the sport cloth seats. Now, these particular options will be a great choice for Mopar owners looking to spice up some cloth seats while adding a very unique and very attractive black leather style cover with white stitching and honeycomb accents, all for right around that low $600 price point. So diving into our features here, and I think the biggest will be the instant upgrade in not only looks, but also feel with both front and rear covers installed. Now, as far as appearance is concerned, well, this one's pretty obvious, right guys? Especially if you're a cloth owner with the sport seats, adding this Kustom interior kit will instantly bring a classier look and really make the interior pop with a combination of that black leather-like material along with that white contrasting stitch, including those honeycomb accents. Now, one of the best features here, in my humble opinion, with this kit is the quality of fitment once installed. Now, these covers are not those kind of baggy, one-size-fits-most part store options, but instead are custom tailored for your Challenger and are extremely form-fitting. In fact, when installed properly, they look like they could have been a factory edition. Now, moving into construction, and you'll first notice that premium artificial leather material that makes up both the front and rear covers, both tops and bottoms. I know I only have a couple with me on the table today, but again, keep in mind you are getting a complete set here. Now, not only does this material look and feel great, but Kustom Interiors also tells us that that surface material here is also waterproof. And again, that's really helpful. Again, if you're looking to preserve your factory seats in any way, this will help keep them looking great and keep stains off them if you get any spills going on. Now, I should also note that the material, while durable, again, and also waterproof, will still allow factory heated or cooled seats to function properly if equipped. Now, also guys, worth noting here, the stitching on the sides of those front covers, well, that's actually designed to separate in the event of an accident, which will still allow those airbags to work properly. And that's always important when we're talking about things like safety. Now, guys, you'll also notice here that these particular options do include the white contrast stitch along with the honeycomb pattern for both the front and back covers, but also the back and bottom of each set here. And that is important to note. They do not skimp on the quality of the accents or the stitching. Now, this one is going to be one of many different colors or designs from the guys over at Kustom Interiors, and I would absolutely encourage you to check out some of our other options here on the site. They have different colors from red to blue, even yellow or white, depending on your ride. And it's always a better way to get some maybe different ideas for what you might want to incorporate into your Challenger at home. Now, moving into pricing, and as I mentioned earlier, this is certainly another feature. These options from Kustom Interiors will land in that low $600 ballpark for both front and rear covers here in this particular kit, which, again, given the quality materials, the look, the fitment, I feel like that price point is especially fair. Now, most aftermarket covers aren't going to offer this level of quality unless you go with something like a Catskins, for instance, and those can be well over $1,000 depending on your options. So again, getting back to these, the fact that you're getting all of the pros or the perks out of these particular options for around $600 for front and rear should be very attractive to Mopar owners out there who want to really give the interior a facelift but don't want to fork out big money for new seats. Last but not least, let's get into the installation, guys. Site's gonna call this a strong 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, taking you at least an hour to complete from start to finish. Now, keep in mind here, these are slip-on style covers. You do not have to disassemble your factory seats. However, removing those factory seats will certainly make the install easier in some cases, but again, that is up to you. Regardless, to give you a better idea of how these things all come together at home, let's throw it out to the shop for our detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown.
Tools required for this install include a ratchet, an extension, and an E12 E-torque socket.
What's up guys? Today we're installing a set of seat covers in our Challenger, so let's get started. So now we're going to start in the back seat here by removing our bench seat. Now there's going to be a latch over here as well as one on the other side. You're just going to pull straight up, pop those latches out, and then we can pull it towards the front of the car to remove it. So now with the bench portion of our rear seats removed, we can install our seat cover. So we're just gonna throw this on, get it hooked around the edges, and then we have all of these elastic straps that are gonna run underneath of the seat and connect up to the buckles in the front to secure this down. Now we also have these pieces in the back that are gonna wedge between the bench seat and the seat backs to hold this into place. We'll get it hooked around those front edges. And then pull it back. And then we can start working on these straps. So we're gonna grab our buckle on one side and then connect those two together. And then we have two more in the center, one more on the other side. Now on the sides of our seat, we do have an elastic hoop here. Now there's nowhere on the bottom of the seat that really makes sense for this to attach to. So what I'm gonna do is disconnect this piece. I'm gonna run this through the elastic band. That's gonna keep this down nice and tight. And then I'm just gonna go underneath this metal bar and then buckle that back into place. That's gonna keep everything nice and tight. You're not gonna see this once this bench seat is in there anyway. So do that on that side and on the other side. So now we can start installing the covers onto our seat backs. Now I'm gonna start with the single seat first. We have a strap right up here in the corner. There's one on both sides for each half of the seat. You're gonna pull that out and that'll release your seat. And then we're just gonna slip our cover over. We have some Velcro straps that are gonna stick down to the fabric on the back of the seat. So go ahead and slip that over. One important thing you wanna note is you're gonna wanna put your pull strap through this hole in the seat cover. And then we can fold this down and grab our Velcro straps and just pull those tight, stick them to the back of the seat here. Pop that back into place, and then we'll get our other side done. Just like on the bench seat, we have these little tabs that are gonna go in between the seat and the bench part to help hold this tight and in place. So now we can work on the other half of our seat cover. Now one thing to keep in mind over here is you're gonna have to go underneath the center seat belt, or if you really want to, you can unbolt it from the bottom here. There's a 17mm nut that you can remove, but I'm just gonna slide it under here like this, and then pull that release strap. We'll get that Velcro strap out of the headrest again, and get this over our seat. And then we're just gonna pull our Velcro nice and tight on the headrest, as well as the two on the side. Stick these down. And then we're gonna get this elastic band around the center console here. And now there's a zipper that's gonna connect these two sides. So we'll get that end fed into our zipper. And then you can zip that up, the one over here as well. Tuck that out of the way. And now with our back installed, we can go ahead and grab our bench seat and get that in here. Now we can grab our bench seat and slide this in. Now we're gonna have to kind of angle this in. You're gonna grab your seat belts and get those through the hole first. There's gonna be two buckles on the passenger side. And slide it back until this meets our latches. and you can latch that down into place. So now we can come to our middle here between our bench and our seat backs. We're going to be tucking all of these into place. We're going to wedge them between the back of the seat back and the back of the bench seat. Now, to get a little more room, make this a little bit easier, you can pull your release tabs on both sides to fold this seat down a little bit. And then we're just going to be tucking these back into place. Get your seat belts out of the way. And then you can fold that back. Get it the rest of the way in there. And then do the same thing for your other seats. And then you can press your seat backs back and latch them into place. Now moving on to the front seats, I'm just gonna unbolt these so that we can maneuver our seat around to install our seat cover. It's just gonna be a lot easier that way. So you're gonna need an E-Torque socket. This is gonna be an E12. We have 2 bolts at the back, 2 bolts at the front. So you're gonna wanna slide the seat all the way forward to get the back ones, and then we'll slide it back to get the fronts. And now once you have your seat slid back, you can do the same thing on the front bolts. Now next we need to remove our headrest. So we have a tab on this side and a tab on this side that we need to press in. And then we can push up and pop this off. So now we're gonna start with the bottom of our seat. At the front, we have these 2 hooks. There's a nice metal bracket right at the front of our seat that we can hook these to. And then we have our straps that are going across the side from underneath, and then they'll just buckle together, just like on the rear seat. And then at the back, we have these pieces that we're gonna wedge in between the 2 seats. And then this is gonna sit there and hold it nice and tight. So I'm gonna slide this over, and then we can get our straps installed. So now I've got our front seat tilted forward so that we can get underneath here. The first thing we're gonna do is undo these 2 straps so that we can fold up this fabric here. So these are just little clips that you can push off. And then we can fold up the back here, which will give us access to reach in between our seat bottom and back to where we can shove those clips through. And then once we pull that through, we can wedge that here. That's gonna hold tension. And then we'll just do that for the other 2. And then you can put this back down, but we're not gonna clip it back into place yet because we also have another 3 of these for the seat back cover. So then once we have that in place, we can get our strap that runs across the bottom of the seat and the 2 hooks at the front installed as well. So next we can grab our hooks from the front. I'm gonna pull this up to this metal bar here and hook them onto there. And then we can get our elastic band with the clips. Pull that nice and tight, latch that into place. Next we can slide our seat back cover over the seat. Just wiggle that down into place. The first thing we're gonna do is tuck the holes for our headrest over those clips. I'll just pull everything nice and tight and get it centered up. So now we're gonna start at the join here. We have 3 more of these clips on the seat back that we're gonna have to pull through and get into position. And now once we have all of these in place, we can reinstall our cover with these 2 clips. And then we also have 2 more on the back of our seat cover that we're gonna have to find somewhere to put as well. These we can just hook right onto our bar. Now we can come to the other side of our seat and zip our zipper, and then we'll just get this back into position and we can get our bolts back installed. Next we can reinstall our 2 bolts at the back of the seat. And then tighten those down with that E12 torque socket. And now we can slide our seat back and do the same thing on the front. Now lastly, we can reinstall our headrest. And then we'll take our headrest cover. We have 2 Velcro straps that are gonna run underneath of it. So we'll get this slid over first. And then we can pop this up a little bit. Grab the 2 halves of our Velcro strap. Strap that down. And then slide that down into place. And then you can repeat the whole process for this seat on the other side. So that'll wrap up this review and install of the Kustom interior premium artificial leather front and rear seat covers, all black with white stitching and honeycomb accent for your 2015 to 18 Challenger RT with sport seats and 15 to 23 Challenger SXT with sport seats. Thank you for watching, and for all things Challenger, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.